Hey everyone, Ben here, and we're straight into the action this week as we've got a new season in iRacing. I'm in a new car for me, the Acura GT3, and we're already underway. We're starting P14 at the Red Bull Ring for a 20-minute fixed race. We've got a car down my inside, that's Kim Larson. He's going to be taking that position into T1. We give him plenty of room on the inside, and incredibly, it looks as if everybody's gotten through that corner cleanly. But the next challenge is not too far away as we climb the hill here, ready for the hairpin of turn 3. I've got some space on the outside, but Hinschen changes his line into the braking zone and very nearly collides with me. I have to get off the track in order to survive. That's cost me on corner exit, and I'm going to lose another position to Solano down my inside here. Very limited chance to hang this out around the outside. He's got the inside line. The best hope I've got is to get a better exit from the corner. A bit of dust kicked up there by a driver up ahead, but still it seems everybody keeping their car on track in this opening lap at the Red Bull Ring. More jostling for position up ahead. Very difficult to get the car turned in on lap 1 with cold tyres and cold brakes. Lots of understeer in this class, but as we get the car up to temperature, everything will start just feeling a little bit more comfortable and you can start to push the car just a little bit more. However, up ahead, Ethan Murphy would push the car too early in this race. He span out, and that is going to give me a position as we round the last corner, prioritise a good exit onto the start finish straight. I think we're going to be up into P13, but most importantly, we've got a really good platform to build on here into the rest of the race. Still then, into the braking zone in the wake of Solano up ahead. Look at how congested the track is. Up ahead we've got now 4 cars, so I'm going to join this battle. Wrestling for position here. This is going to be very perilous. Heading up into the hairpin once again at the top of the hill. I'm just going to hold my line around the outside and see if I can't get better traction on the exit then. I'm going to be alongside Benjamin Hinschen as we get to the exit of the corner, and yes, I've got better drive out of the hairpin and I'm able to make the pass. Wow, that was a great move around the outside of the corner there. You can see Hinschen just snatches a break perhaps on the exit of the corner or get some wheel spin, and that then gives me the momentum to take the position. We rejoin the live action then on lap 2. I'm up into P12. I'm following Carlos Solano up ahead, and I've got around 0.2 of a second back to Hinschen behind. But look up ahead, more drama coming. Debski and Miller coming together as we come down the hill. We're going to see the aftermath of that incident as there's Debski and you've got Miller on the right hand side on the escape road rejoining the track. I had to hold my breath there that he wasn't going to come careering onto the track. Thankfully he didn't. He rejoined safely, but damage for both of those drivers. And now we're up into P10 just by keeping our nose clean and by snatching that opportunity through the hairpin to get past Hinschen. We've actually made up some positions. But speaking of Hinschen behind, look at this. He's got way more momentum coming out of that final corner. He's going to be challenging into T1. I'm going to hold my nerve here, try and keep the car on the racing line. Hinschen wisely recognises that he didn't have an overlap there. He pulls out of the move and I'm able to hold on to P10. On to lap 5 then, and we're challenging Solano up ahead. I feel like I've got more speed at this point of the race, but it's actually quite difficult to execute an overtake on this circuit if you don't have significantly more speed and you're not all the way alongside into some of these corners. And so I'm feeling a little bit stuck here. I don't want to get disconnected from the drivers up ahead as we struggle to get the car turned in there. Just carried a little bit too much speed, perhaps following Solano up ahead there. And now we're going to just be snaking into the final part of this lap. You can see I'm really pushing as hard as I can to try and just put a bit of pressure on the driver up ahead, hopefully force a mistake. Maybe that's my best way to get this pass done here. But I am nervous about Hinschen behind, because if I'm getting slowed up, we've already seen that he's got some good pace, and maybe he's going to have another go past me here into T1 because I've actually made a mistake through the final corner there. I'm slow off the exit. Look at the momentum that Hinschen's got behind me here. This time he is further alongside me into the braking zone. He's going to take his chance. I'm going to have to leave him lots of room there, and he's able to get by. So now we've got a challenge on our hands. I'm back down to P11 here. Can I strike straight back as we climb the hill towards the hairpin Also on my mind here is I don't want to lose too much time in this battle. So actually I decide against making a lunge down the inside. I'm just going to tuck into Hinchen's slipstream here, see if he can make some progress past Solano up ahead. We're forward then onto lap 7, and actually we've just dropped back ever so slightly, but then Solano would finally make a mistake. He's out of the race as he spears into the barrier there, and Hinschen just had to get out of the accelerator a little bit. So you can see I am now closing the gap here. We're within half a second of the driver up ahead, and consistently through this race I've been pretty quick into the hairpin, good on the brakes, and I'm gaining time on the drivers around me through that corner. The gap now 0.3 seconds as we're along the back straight here, and I'm nicely tucked into the slipstream of Hinschen. The challenge now then is, can I reclaim that position I lost into T1 just a couple of laps ago? A very nice tight line here through the downhill right-hander, and we're getting ready for the very tricky high-speed downhill section. I've got my eyes peeled here for any incidents up ahead because these are blind corners. There is a yellow flag out, and that appears to be Henri and Strello who've come together. We are past Henri, Strello has rejoined up ahead, and this has mixed things up significantly. They were both drivers at the sharp end of this field, and actually there's a back marker involved there too. Debski, who we saw go off earlier in the race, is actually at the head of this little pack up ahead. Strello then will be trying to get back the positions that he's lost, and he's come together with Debski. Debski off to the right hand side. Hinschen had to get out of the gas. That's going to give me an opportunity to get alongside as we cross the start finish line onto lap 8. I'm all the way alongside into the braking zone, and Hinschen decides not to fight that move. I make the apex, and I'm now up into P8. So we are gaining places in this race, but what on earth happened there? Well, we're following Henri, who's in P3 here. Strello has already been nudged out wide once there by the leader of this race, and then the two drivers come together through the middle of the corner, and that causes both to lose positions hand over fist. Henri manages to rejoin safely, but he's dropped way back in the field. There I am swooping past to take the position. Andre Strello, by comparison, is still up in the top 8. He's in P7, running just ahead, but he's gone in deep into the corner there on lap 8. I am going to be side by side with him on exit. It's a drag race down the back straight here. Can I get up into P7 here? Well, let's find out who's going to be braver on the brakes. I'm going to be pinched to the inside. Wow, Strello holds it around the outside, resumes the racing line, and he holds on to the position, and I have to settle back into P8 there. I've got Benjamin Hinschen still just 0.2 seconds behind me. We've been able to build that gap just a little bit as we get onto lap 9. Look up ahead, Strello and Robero are now challenging for position. Strello clearly has got some good pace in this race, and he's trying to recover those positions that he's lost. He's got one back from Miguel Robero there up ahead in the Acura. I'm now going to have a good chance of getting all the way alongside him because he's been compromised on exit. Here we go then, I'm in his slipstream, coming towards the braking zone. I pull to the inside, and look at that, I've been able to get later on the brakes. Maybe I'll be able to make the move here. Oh no, we've come together, and Robero has spun out of the race. And when you look at these replays, this is a racing incident, I think, but it's 100% on me. I'm coming from too far back. I overestimated how far alongside I was, and really Robero can't have much of an idea that I've got an overlap there. I need to be much closer to the driver up ahead to make this move, and so in the end I've got to take responsibility for that. Yes, there was a little bit of netcode there, but after the race I sent Miguel an apology on the iRacing forums, because in the end I think this was on me. It wasn't malicious, it wasn't intentional, but in the end getting my nose down into the inside of that corner has ruined his race. But we're back in the cockpit on lap 11. I've got to keep going in this race, and I'm up into P7 now. And actually, the pace is starting to come towards me. The more I'm getting used to this new car, the more I'm getting into this race. Actually, my lap times have been dropping, and I've been able to borrow perhaps some of the lines, some of the braking points of Andre Strello up ahead, and that has allowed me then to get down into the low 131s, and on this lap I would go even faster as I'm trying to put pressure on Strello up ahead and get up into the top 6 of this race. I've dropped Benjamin Hinschen behind me to now the gap is a second, and I'm fully focused on whether I can put some pressure on Strello up ahead here, as again we come into the middle sector of this lap. I'm 2/10 up on my previous best here, and it's going to be in this section that I'm able to carry much more speed than I've been able to on previous laps. Actually, Strello there getting a little bit out of shape through the middle part of the corner. Look at my delta, I'm half a second up on my previous best here. I'm down into the mid 1:30 30s. That's essentially on par with the quickest lap that's been done in this session so far. It's going to put me just a 10th off the fastest lap of the race if I can hold it through the final couple of corners. And look at that, Strello pushing very hard to open up the final corner, give himself a chance of getting on the gas early, and I am going to be 0.6 seconds quicker than I've been on any previous lap in this race so far. Enough to keep the pressure on Strello, but unfortunately not yet enough to execute a pass. He's pushing hard too. Remember, he was at the front of this field when he got caught up in that incident with Henri earlier in the race, so he's definitely got good speed. If I can match him, then I'm doing pretty well. And actually, we've extended the gap to Hinschen behind even further to 1.5 seconds as we're into the braking zone at the top of the hill for the hairpin once again. Probably only 2 laps left in this race, so I do not have a lot of time to execute a move on Strello if I'm able to. I think it's going to require him to make a mistake as he's pushing very hard here. Let's see what happens as we get down into the braking zone once again and just try and hug a nice tight line here as we come to the exit of the corner. Oh my goodness, another driver is out. That's Nuber off in the wall on the right hand side. What happened there? Well, he just got out wide onto the gravel, and that was enough to unsettle the car. Late in this race, his session is ruined, and now we're fast forwarding onto the final lap. You can see the sky has gotten much darker as we've gotten towards the end of this race, showing off some of the new iRacing lighting engine. Unfortunately, you'll see it also highlights some pretty ropey landscape graphics in the back. I'm hopeful the new iRacing graphics team are going to look to sort that out as they introduce the new graphics engine. But for now, my focus is fully on, can I get past Andre Strello? And another back marker has come into play here with just half a lap left. Is Strello going to get bottled up behind the back marker up ahead? Well, let's find out here as we're coming through the middle section of this lap for the final time. Am I going to be able to take advantage and get past here? Let's find out, as he is getting caught out, and it might give me a good run out of this corner here. Let's see if I'm able to get alongside him into the final 2 corners here. It's going to be extremely tight. I'm pinched to the inside, and in the end, perhaps with that experience with Robero in mind, I decided to just bleed off the throttle there. It wasn't worth taking the risk of potentially taking us both out of the race. We are going to be nose to tail as we cross the start-finish line, but I'm going to have to settle for P6. What a frantic start to the new iRacing season. Hugely enjoyable race, some great battling on track. I am feeling a little bit gutted about that incident with Robero, but hopefully he sees my apology. It certainly was an honest mistake at least. But I hope you've enjoyed this session. Get in the comments, let me know what you thought of the race, including that incident, as well as how your new season is going in iRacing. And I'll see you on the next one.